Okay, my favorite peasants. How are we? I've been asked a lot for my rants, so they're back. I'd like to also let you know my headphones aren't connected to anything, but they look cool, so you guys listen to anything I have to say. Um, we got some new stuff from the New York State Police because, listen, if there's a man that likes children, it's not really their responsibility, but the past few days, I'd like to say you're going to fucking jail if your music is too loud. So I got a list here. I was just sent in. Remember, we have the fucking gay rights, rainbow shit going on. But look, this is from the New York State Troopers. So I live here, and this isn't just a normal rant. Like, look, license can now be suspended, which is 10 points in 24 months. I don't know how the fuck that's even possible. It used to be 11 in 18, but listen, I know all these guys go home and beat their wives, so I have to at least speak on this since I live here. It's pushed me to the, like, if you have tint on your windows, you're getting blicked down. No questions asked, no punishment. But speeding up to 10 miles per hour over the speed limit is 4 points now. It used to be three. Using a cell phone while driving, a personal favorite of yours, is now 6 points. It was five. Failure to yield to a pedestrian is 5 points, which is three before. Reckless driving. Reckless driving is now 8 points when it was five. So they're borderline doubling everything. And again, this is not, they don't care about your safety. That's a complete utter lie because we're gonna go hang out with Eric soon, and every single video I'm seeing of him, I said, you know what? I'm gonna help you with press. If they try and fuck with you a little bit, because three cops just pulled up on this 45-minute video. I watched all of it. Shout out to Eric. He went on a predator hunt, and the dude admitted child porn on his phone. And the police were kind of like, well, there's not too much we can do. I'm turning 23 this month, so a lot of you guys got really upset when I claimed I'm the New York mayor, so that's gonna continue. I really take pride in that. Upsetting a small fraction of you to make the others happy. This is okay, so new point carrying violation. If you have a broken taillight, you're getting a point each. So you're going to the fucking slammer. You're going to jail. Illegal U-turns is 2 points, so I'm not even going to speak on that one. Obstructing traffic is 2 points. Failure to move. This is all just to grab money. This is, yeah, I'd like to also say in SUNY Arc, this was the second college I dropped out of, SUNY Arc in Orange County. Listen, these motherfuckers took the men's bathroom sign off. They made it gender neutral. And when I brought this up in class, I assure you, everyone's looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. So uh, the video hit 500,000 views, and I said, you're more likely to face jail time if you're sexually attracted to driving over the speed limit than if you're sexually attracted to children. So I've been asked on another podcast, shout out, shout out George and Steve as well for helping me get here, because the clouds are one thing. That's something I can't really even control that right now. But if if every single police officer has tint not only on their police car, but their personal car, the fucking audacity to try and now My father's the most innocent man I've met. I'm not the same as him, but he's gonna lose his license for driving 4 miles per hour over the fucking speed limit. So when we've spoken recently, we said, look, you need to speak for others while they come for them because they're gonna come for you next. So in New York State, I guess it's perfectly okay to like children, but you're getting a hefty fine now if you have a broken tail light. It doesn't matter if you can't afford to fix it. Doesn't matter if you can't afford to give your children food. And part of that, no, Fruity Pebbles and Cheerios is not dinner. Because one of the largest, I gotta flex this, one of the largest parts of my empire came from recently when I realized people cannot feed their families. I said, you know what? You just brought in millions of immigrants from who the fuck knows where doing who the fuck knows what. They've been caught in hotels, fully paid. They've been caught with EBT cards giving groceries for free. Well, not for free, with our fucking money. But is not real. I think we were all starting to. You don't need. When I went to court for my traffic ticket, I pulled up playing Future and I left playing Future, but there was a mother and a 4-year-old daughter in there, and she parked over the line, and the police officer knew what she looked like. And when I was in there, the whole room went quiet, and everyone's looking at this one. She says, "Are you able to make the $200 fine?" The mother says, "No." And to see everyone's. This hot girl just responded to me, and we're going to delete it because this is more important. Everyone is just staring at the judge like, do you have a soul? So, listen, there's 3 things my mother really dislikes: speeding, speeding with the windows down, speeding with the windows down, playing loud music. So, personally, my 3 favorite things in the entire motherfucking world possibly could be speeding with the windows down, playing Future. And I'm not going to say that was me, but it may be me. And we're getting to a point now with these drones where a lot of them should have been shot down. And I've realized with the firearm stuff in New York, right? I've never purchased one, but you've made me so afraid for my own family and loved ones. Why would you not get one? Why would you not protect yourself? So, of course, I'm an anti-violence person. That's never the answer. However, Capital J John left a pair of fucking slippers on his porch, and Indian people ran up and took them. So I guess there's gangs of Indians that are just looting cars in Canada. When I went to Canada, I guess all of Toronto was not Canadian. It was fucking Indian. So I'd also like to say, look, I'm the new New York mayor. I don't, I'm not really concerned with anyone who disagrees because I make my own rules now. If there's no consequences for you liking children, why are there consequences for me driving 4 over the speed limit? And we could pull the list is nothing but a money grab, but when you suspend someone's license, first of all, when I'm going to the DMV to register a car tomorrow, you're making me pay the plate fee, the New York fee, the sales fee, the fuck you fee, the I'll take this money too fee. I also want this fee. No matter how much I've paid in taxes, the road down the road next to the deli, it looks like fucking Mars. There's just craters. There's not holes. There's craters. And to be clear, it's a few miles long going to Chester, but how do you have lines of craters, which is just, I guess a, I guess a ditch? I don't know how to. So you're not protecting the children. You're not fixing the roads. I've seen no assistance to people who actually need it or who were born here. Now, when they started to pull up the receipts of people who were leaving the grocery store with $100 prepaid food, like, again, this is not me speaking for me. This is me speaking for the children at this point. Can we give them some healthy food? Now, can we give them some water that's been unmanipulated? And shout out Bill Gates. You're a real fucking hoe. You know, I saw what was going on in the clouds. I said, Jack, that is the fakest shit I've ever seen. So there's gonna be a split. The clouds are manipulated? What do you mean the cloud? No, that's a real cloud. You just sprayed a 15-mile pin stripe. That's not a cloud. You're fucking poisoning us. So, the soft metals, I'd like you all to look up a picture. Yeah, I'd like you guys to pull up a picture of the autism rates. It's not a 10 or a 20, it's not a 30 or a 40. The autism rates are a multiple 100% spike. And I'm gonna pull it up right now. One of my first videos with George, I said, I no longer trust, like, none of us trusted politicians. This is duh. I don't trust my teachers because they have bad intentions for me. But I don't trust my doctors. Now, there's going to be a few of you, autism rate chart. There's going to be a few of you trying to explain to me that we should be on 13 different antidepressants. And to be honest, it was my fault that I gained the weight, so it's my fault that I lost the weight. Autism prevalence has increased 178% since 2020. So this is not an accident. And again, you have to flip my phone the other way. None of this has been by accident. What I learned, shout out the homie George, shout out Steve. The V is one thing. The V is one thing, but when I talked about the apple, again, Bill Gates, you're a real hoe. I spoke about the apple and I said, look, one of the saddest things is there's going to be some children and they're going to say, is this apple healthy and going to give me good health? Or is this apple so coated in cancerous bullshit that I'm better off eating a bag of chips? And a lot of people were upset with me for saying that, but I meant it. You covered apples with so much cancerous shit that I can't say this is healthy. This is detrimental to your health. And so I remember the FLOURID space E in school being forced to take it, but I spoke with Coachman Bill, and the teachers would walk around us checking our mouths to make sure we actually took it. Now, I think you understand what's in it, but this all is tying back to the autism rates because an almost 200% increase in 20, 25 years compared to one of the best ways to go about this is when you speak about the Amish who haven't had any, well, starts to speak for itself. So again, I want to say shout out to the farmers because we wouldn't be here without you. So you're one of the staples holding our community together. So I know I came in speaking about speeding, but this is all a spider web. I know a lot of you are starting to feel crushed in a cage, and I am too. But if we can have a bad day, we can also have a good day. So, in the depths of hell, we still need to find good things, which would be farmers, which would be doctors who injected water into people or squeezed onto the floor. And one of the most scary things I'd ever seen was in the military. There's a man. I'm either gonna put it right here or link it. There was a soldier like borderline crying, being held down and pushed around by 8 others who had the same uniform as him, and they forced it into his arm. I've stayed up late at night thinking about that in my room dark. So, everything I tell you guys, look, I've stopped smoking. I don't even want to drink right now. Because what is there to celebrate? So, I'm gonna be going on a predator hunt, my first one. My name was going to be in history, regardless of good or bad, so it has to be good. There's a lot of young people on my page, but one of the biggest deciding factors was all the people that came from John. A lot of those people were mothers and fathers, so when there's some little turd trying to speak down on me, it goes in one ear and out the other. Now, of course, the headphones aren't even connected to anything, but it looks cool, and you guys will listen and support everything I have to say. So, I'm gonna do everything in my power in this lifetime. When I made Our Future is Youth, that charity is gonna continue with or without me. So, I've built up an empire now, and it's 24/7. It doesn't go to sleep because I don't go to sleep. So, a lot of this is going to tie together, and some clown is not going to like this, but these are all things that need to be said. So there's billions of people, and if you're listening to this right now, it cannot be a mistake. My name is Cameron Panuska, and if you're hearing this, there's no in between. You need to pick. Are you going to fight for the side of good? Or are you going to be on the side of bad? Because I see the demons everywhere, and I will not fucking ever become one.